Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. We've got something made by Bestech here, and fortunately there was a piece of paper in the larger box that kind of went over the details of this, so I have most of the initial information for you guys. This is just an unboxing and first impressions, not a review, so we're just going to be taking a look today. Thank you so much to, I guess it's Bestech, and actually it is Todd Knife and Tool, or TKT, who designed this and, actually sent it. So thank you very much. I will provide links down in the description where you guys can check it out. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at the_metal_complex. I'm going to try to have this video out right around the time that this comes out. The little packet or the little piece of paper I got said that it releases on June 7th. So what we have here, I'm just going to move all this stuff, is do they call it the, hold on, let me make sure. The Spear Phisher. And they spell it PH, right, as in like phishing scam. So that was interesting. All right, what we have here, very vibrant blue carbon fiber. There's the Todd Knife and Tool logo. Those are the folks who brought us the malware, right? Remember that? I'm sure you guys do. Black titanium backspacer, pocket clip, probably a few different variations. Oh boy, holy moly, that is quite the thin edge. Jeez. They said in the little piece of paper there, they said it had a compound grind so that it was, nice and slicey for, I think the example they used was like if you're cutting a steak or something like that. But they weren't kidding. That is ridiculously thin behind the edge. I mean, aggressively thin behind the edge. Very cool. Something to note, the action is really, really nice. On thinner knives like this that utilize a flipper tab, I think it is supremely important to have the majority of the lock bar covered. Why? Because you don't have a lot of room on a thin frame like this to put your fingers. A lot of times, frame locks, exposed frame locks that are really thin like this are not my favorite because it forces you to put your fingers entirely or at least partially on the lock bar, which affects the detent, makes it harder to flip, right? A lot of people, a lot of times on like reviews on websites, like you can tell when somebody's experiencing their first frame lock. And they're like, I literally cannot open this thing no matter how hard I pull. And we all know that the reason they can't is because they don't know not to put pressure on that lock bar. So while that is partially user error, when we're looking at a thinner or more narrow frame like this, yeah, it's the mark of a better design, I think, in my opinion, to have something covering the frame. So a little bit of information here before I get into specs and everything. I'll read actually what they said. The Spear Phisher retains TKT's signature design cues while being significantly less murdery looking than a knife like the malware, allowing it to fit easier into the business environment. The compound grind is intended to keep things thin and slicey for your power lunch ribeye while keeping the point stronger in case you need to conduct some tough negotiations. That's cleverly written. We plan to launch this knife on June 7th. It'll be available on our website and on Knife Lounge Germany, White Mountain Knives USA, and Blue Ridge Knives, which is wholesale apparently, and so on. Okay, cool. So we have M390 7 I'll actually just let you guys look at specs rather than going over and measuring it and everything. But those are your specs there. And then it said, thank you for your support. No problem. Absolutely. And then this actually came directly from Bestech. I thought maybe this was TKT. But really cool. Yeah. Let's do a couple of size comparisons here real quick just so you guys can get a good idea. It's actually, it's close to like full size. So I think some people might be surprised at how long it is compared to something massive. Well, massive like the 8010. It's just very, very thin. So 8010, Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue. Let's do the Para 3. And what's another good one? I probably like the Rat 1. It's probably be good. We could do the Hogue Deca. and probably best to put the Benchmade Griptilian up there. It's actually longer than both the Hogue Deca. Well, is it long? Yeah, it's just slightly longer overall than the Hogue Deca. And then, did we do the AD 20.5? I think we'll do that. Yeah. So, let's see. Weight on this guy. I don't know what the HRC is. Bestech, I think, normally hits that 59.61, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and find out it's a little bit higher. We have the blue, these colored carbon fiber pieces. When the blue is much more vibrant or when the color is much more vibrant, it just looks so much better. There's definitely a balance, though. And I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of these carbon fibers in the early days when they were adding the colors, there just wasn't enough color. It was like low battery colored carbon fiber. And then every now and then we get this stuff and it's like way too much. It's overpowering, right? And unless you have exactly the right surrounding color contrast with the frame, right? And exactly the right color on the blade, it just looks bad, in my opinion. When it's balanced, right? When the blue is rich, right? Or the color is rich and is contrasting with the same or nearly the same of the black underneath, it looks really good. And this, in my opinion, looks really, really good. I like it. I mean, honestly, you could have pretty much any color there. Really surprised at how smooth this is. I just don't expect knives with really light, narrow blades to have nearly fall shut action, but this does. Does it have any blade play? No. None. Seriously. None blade play. I also would like to slice something just real quick. I got a note card handy. Not the best material. Whoops, trying to get it to bite. Yeah, okay. Definitely. We're lifting the edge here, but that's because this is a note card and not a piece of paper. Let's slice something up that's a little bit thinner. I definitely don't need this list anymore. So, much thinner piece of paper. Oh yeah, definitely. Still lifting the edges just a little bit, but I mean, truthfully, for what it was expected to do, yeah, they really did get that aggressively thin. I mean, that's definitely going to do the trick. Access to the lock bar is actually, that's deep enough. It's not cut out below, right? Not like I usually like it. But there's plenty of access here. I mean, it is kind of a shelf, but the lock bar tension is not insane. It's not difficult to disengage at all, but no lock rock or anything like that. Nothing that feels like it's slipping. But plenty of room to get in there and move it out of the way. So actually, that's not bad at all. Weight, and then we'll wrap it up. Carbon fiber, titanium, and probably 125 thousandths of M390. No surprise at all. 2.47 ounces for what I'm guessing is 3.5 inches of blade. And that means the ratios are really great, as they usually are. Yeah, 3.5 inches on the dot, as they usually are with, long, narrow knives like this. You're really going to get generally pretty good balance. It's a ways back, but honestly, you can't tell because the frame is, when it's closed up or opened up, you really can't tell because it's so narrow. But yeah, that's cool. That pocket clip looks a little high to me. I think they probably could have knocked that down a bit, but it's not bad, honestly. The ergonomics are fine, and they clearly meant this for a specific type of environment, which I very much doubt includes hard use, right? Cool stuff, though. That's it for the unboxing and first impressions. You guys will get a full comprehensive review of this knife a few weeks down the road. But make sure and check out the links in the description for this guy, along with some other things. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.